Hello, good people. Welcome to the Simply Elegant Show. It's your host, Lady Suzanne, and today we have the very best. She'll be talking to us about education because remember, there can never be beauty without brains. If you're beautiful and you don't have brains, then that does not make you an elegant woman. So she'll be telling us everything about education. Stay tuned, and you are free to ask any questions in the comment section, which I'll be pushing to her, and we are going to level up, become women of class, women of poise, and to be sophisticated even in our brains. And so without further ado, I will invite my guest to introduce herself and to tell us who she is, what she does, and we will continue with the discussion. Thank you.
Thank you, Suzanne. I'm Dr. Gladys Bunyasi. I'm a lecturer at KCA University. I've been at KCA University for over 21 years. I started as a student there, actually doing my professional programs after my first degree. And I have grown in ranks from the Dean of Students. I've been a director in charge of professional programs. I've been in charge of regional campuses. We have campuses in various places. And the last one, I was the chief principal of our technical college. And through this, I've really learned a lot. I've seen young people grow in their career and, of course, advance to higher levels, women and men. And education is really key. Whether you are doing, any profession, be it, the way you look at it as being simple, education is very important. So I've advanced in my career right at KCA University. I really have the passion of mentoring young people to grow in their career, and especially the women and youth who are out there, not with jobs, and they're just, hanging around, wondering how to make their life, may look good. And I have a message for you today that don't give up, keep advancing. We have quite a lot that you can do. So I empower women, I empower the youth, and I just encourage them that, self-reliance is the key, and education is the only equalizer. Whether you are poor, whether you are from whichever kind of family background, education will really equalize you in life. So that is me. Yes, thank you.
Wow, and she has decided to humble herself and not tell us all the accolades that she has, but she's really done it so well in the education system. And so, Dr. Bunyasi, we are going to start on a light note, so that we ease up and the people to just know that education is the best. So what is your take on beauty without brains?
Yeah, I know women everywhere, and even men are now joining the beauty industry in a big bang.
Yes.
Yeah? But I'll really want to advise the ladies out there, the women out there, that beauty without brains, you are not complete. So education. For me, have knowledge with you, have some skills that you can hold on, so that even if you advance in your beauty, you have some values to fall up to. And education really makes you think differently. Education just gives you, a different image. Even when you are in your beauty industry and you are walking around and you tell people, this is what you have done in education, there is that respect that comes with it. There is that, just image that comes with it. So I'll tell women and ladies out there that beauty without brains is not the best. So let's level up. We have quite a lot that we can do. Now we have a lot of online, courses you can do to level up. Sometimes we are busy, but there is quite a lot. Opportunities are there. And I'll be sharing maybe quite a number of these opportunities, so that you don't just sit there and think, your husband will be giving you money to go for beauty and making yourself beautiful, just staying in the house. Do something. And you can only do that if you have acquired some education, whether technical, whether crafty. Now we have quite a wide range of skills that you can acquire in learning institutions. And that is basically what we are here to talk about.
Okay.
Yes.
So what are the disadvantages of someone being illiterate, not educated? Because I find that so many young people, especially the youth, are saying that no matter how you get a degree, first degree, second degree, you have a master's, and you still become jobless. So there's that discouragement that is coming about from going to school and paying a lot of money, and then you end up being a jobless person, or you end up hustling, you went to do medicine, now you are a matatu driver, and I'm not saying it's bad, but there's that discouragement. There's the spirit of discouragement among the young people because of joblessness after studying so hard. So what can you tell the young people or women and men outside there that even if you're jobless and you have the papers at home, you're still a different person?
Thank you, Suzanne. I want to encourage that woman or that youth out there. You don't go to school to study just to get a job. You go to school to acquire knowledge, to acquire skills, to acquire attitudes, which will make you a different person in the society. You cannot compare somebody who is a graduate in the village or in the community with somebody who has not gone to school. They are, 2 miles apart. So young people, women, let's put it in our mind. It's also an attitude issue. It's also a perspective issue. Let's put it in mind that we go to school to acquire skills, to acquire knowledge that can help us propel us to another level. And especially for the young people, they think that once you go to the university, you graduate, you should be able to get a job direct. It doesn't work like that. It should be like you have acquired the skills. You have gone through an education system, whether it is college, university, technical. What skills did you acquire? Can you put those skills into something that can be profitable to you, that can help you, move to another level? So let's not have that mentality. I know now young people are talking about, I have just cleared, I don't have capital, but you have to start small. And I like telling people that you always start with what you have. What do you have? You have the skills. So use the skills you have to start something, then money will follow you so that you start something. So let's not complain that, we have the skills, we are not getting jobs. Get the knowledge. It will make you a different person. And who knows? I always tell people that, success is for those who are prepared. Because when opportunities come, are you prepared? So be prepared, and being prepared is having this education we are talking about, having the papers, having the skills, so that once you have them, any opportunity coming, then you will be successful. But we cannot go complaining that, I can't go to school because even if I graduate, I won't get a job. It doesn't work like that. Prepare ourselves. So let's have the papers with us, package them well, and use the skills we acquired in school to do something. You can always do something. There are many opportunities out there. Even if you are to start your own company, you need a profile. If you don't have the papers, which client will you attract? You cannot attract anybody. So the education is going to give you a big, start, a big jump. So acquire the papers, package them well, and look for opportunities which you can use to make money out of it, to commercialize your skills, to commercialize your knowledge before maybe a formal job comes. And who knows? Some people are just acquiring skills to do their own things because I have the skills. Why should I wait to be employed? So that is the perception and attitude that women, young people should have. Otherwise, if we say that we are not getting jobs, then you will just perish. You will languish in poverty. So be self-reliant, and that can only be get the papers and look for opportunities to exploit with the papers.
Wow, thank you so much, Dr. Bunyasi. Actually, that is so profound, and it actually has touched me personally, that you don't go to school to get a job.
No.
You go to school to advance in knowledge, and that a person who's gone to school and one who has not, there's a big difference between those two people.
Yeah.
So, Dr. Bunyasi, when did you get the passion for education? When did that start growing up? Because I have seen that people, and I'm not being tribal viewers, you'll forgive me, I've seen that brothers and sisters from the lakeside are so brainy. I went to the hospital just some other time, and all the doctors were, Juan, what? And I asked one doctor, he was a consultant, is it genetic? Or how is it that the big doctors are in the lakeside? And he was telling me it is genetic. So do you believe in anything like that education can be genetic, and there are some people who are brainy, and I know you can acquire education, but when did you know that you had the passion for you to have studied so much until now you are a doctor, you have a doctorate in education? When did the passion for education come?
Thank you, Suzanne. My passion for education actually, started way back when I was a young girl in my village, Bungoma County. And how it came about of course, we used to have these, big families of ours, extended families of my aunties, of my uncles, who were doing well. So anytime they could come home, and of course, I was born in a very humble family. We used to walk on foot going to school. We could miss on breakfast. We could miss on dinner. Life was modest, but we could really do without quite a number of things. So how did I start thinking of, surely I need to have a difference. So when this time came, when now my cousins and my aunties were visiting, and they are coming, and either they are driving to our home, and we are those barefoot babies, and we have nothing, of course. And when the guests come, they were giving even treatment, and everything would stop. Yeah,
Special pieces of chicken.
Exactly. Yeah, and us will just be now playing out there. And remember those kids coming, they are
barefooted.
Yeah, they have shoes now. They have stockings and well dressed, and sometimes, of course, with plaited
With nice hair.
And we could be
and
like,
you were a village baby with the dirty clothes.
exactly,
tattered clothes, old,
yes. So,
and no shoes.
Exactly.
Yes.
So we could just be watching from a distance, and you are told, you play from outside. Yeah, msikuje kwa
Don't
wageni.
disturb the visitors.
Exactly.
Yes.
So we would, sit out and just continue playing. So once they eat, then whatever remains, now we could, be given.
You could eat, yeah.
So, I never used to feel that was good. And I was like, how do I also become part of these who are visiting and not me who is just sitting here? So, of course, I knew like my aunties were either teachers, they were nurses. So I was like, okay, so how do I become a nurse? How do I become a doctor? Or how do I become a teacher? So then, of course, I knew it is just by going to school, working hard, and one day when I get a job, I'll also be better. So that's how it actually started. So I did my primary in very humble background. I went to, and I excelled in my primary. So I went to now a national school, Lugulu Girls, yeah? And in that era, Lugulu Girls was now one of the best schools in the region in Bungoma County. So going there was like, a big thing. So I'm like, wow, here I am going to Lugulu Girls. So I go there, and I also, find people now there who had even performed better than myself. And so I'm like, wow, will I make it in this class? But again, I'm determined, yeah? So we do the first exams, and I'm like, oh, so I can beat quite a number of them. And the passion kept growing, yeah? Then along the way, of course, I got some mentors who would also encourage me and, tell me, yeah, work hard, especially those who are already in campus. They will tell me, work hard so that you join campus. And so I kept believing in myself that, yes, I can make it. So I made it for university, came to the university. Again, I had quite some mentors who were encouraging me to also work hard, especially the course you select. Which course do you do? Which after that, maybe you will be able to even start your own thing. Don't just look at getting employed. So I was really mentored by, actually, even my husband was part of them. By then, of course, my boyfriend, but he really played a big role in mentoring me, just encouraging me, no, don't do education. Of course, I was to do education, and he was like, do a course which, if you'd miss on getting placed as a teacher, then you can be able to do something else. So that's where I ended up to do accounting when I went to the university. And that is how it has shaped me. So I want to agree and also disagree on the fact that being
genetics.
clever
Yes.
is genetic.
Yeah.
Or is it makeup? Yes. Yeah. It has both.
Yeah.
One, yes, you can acquire those genes of just being bright, and two, the environment. The environment can really shape you.
Okay.
And that is why we even advise our parents and all that, let's shape our children well. If you keep encouraging them, if you keep, telling them that, yes, you can make it, you have a big, potential, you can do it, then they will do it. So it is both. The environment does a lot. Kids who have grown up in environments where, nobody is supporting them, nobody is, even encouraging them, they have tended to even end up maybe drinking and just getting lost. But those who have mentors who encourage them and tell them, yes, you have the potential, you can make it, they have done it. So for me, it is both. Genetic, yes, a bit of it is there, but also the environment. It has a big role in shaping how one becomes, successful in education.
So the environment, like
Yes.
where the kid is growing up.
Exactly.
Okay.
The environment, the people he interacts with,
Yeah.
And just the parents are the first mentors.
Okay.
Yes.
Now that you are in education and you have done so well and risen so much, and I'm so proud of you, do you believe that there's someone who can never understand anything? Like for me, when I was growing up, when I was primary school, I had a mental block for mathematics. I can only count money. I mean, the teacher would come and I would get depressed. Even the teacher gave up on me. So during the maths lesson, I would write history notes or English notes. So I had a mental block for math. I could not get anything. During the exam, I just wrote my name and slept.
Oh my.
And I got something to encourage me. Continue. In Kiswahili, they say, endelea. Yeah, don't give up. Just endelea. So do you believe someone can have a mental block when it comes to education?
Thank you, Suzanne.
Okay.
I know I've heard of people saying, in fact, even sometimes parents, we tell our children, you can't make it, you are just thick, you
are dumb.
Which is very unfortunate.
Okay.
Personally, I believe everybody is born with that innate ability to excel. Everybody is born with that. Along the way, how it is going to be shaped is now what determines how this person will excel or not. Right from the parents, how are you orienting this young man, this young woman? If you are the type who is always telling them, you can't make it, you are this, you are this, you are
like your grandfather.
Yes, you are like your father, you are like that, those words stick.
Yes.
And, they just make that person the way you are telling them. Remember we are told that what you confess is what you possess.
The power of the tongue.
Exactly.
Okay.
I know of people who are born in, families where you feel others have nothing and all that. But because they just got somebody to encourage them, to shape them. And right from the parents, then to school. Teachers also have a big role to play, especially in primary school. If a teacher is always telling, children, we used to have some teachers who could really abuse the students, who could, not encourage them, but tell them like, you're wasting your time here, you better even go and do something else. Those words will stick. So personally, I believe everybody was born with an innate, potential to excel. It is just me and you or the people around this person to just...
So the environment again.
Yes, the environment.
Okay.
So people can support this person. And even that, the attitude this person also has. Sometimes you can be told those things and for sure you go down. But we have others who will want to beat the odds and say, no, I believe in myself, I'll do this. So everybody has the potential. It is the environment and how they're going to perceive things that will now excel them or make them not to excel.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. So I know affordable is relative, but of course there's a person outside there who's saying education is so expensive, universities are expensive. What's your take on the affordability of education in Kenya?
Yes. Affordability of education in Kenya, actually up to recent, it has been quite affordable. And affordability again is relative.
It's relative.
Because I've always believed in this saying that says if you think education is expensive,
try
ignorance. It is more expensive.
Yes.
And I would really appeal even to parents, especially mothers. Mothers have the strongest appeal. You can never compare the education of your child or yourself to any other thing.
Okay.
So if you're able to build a house worth millions,
okay,
which education will be expensive in Kenya? If you can be able to, do so many things,
buy a car, put up a
exactly,
business.
Yes. Which education is expensive?
Buy land.
Yes. So I think it is about priorities.
Okay.
What priorities do we have? And in Kenya, and I'm sure many nations, people forgot that they're supposed to invest in their children. They are busy investing for their children. Which is very wrong. And it won't work.
Tell us more about that.
Investing in your children means you will forgo those investments you are doing at that particular time. Postpone them and say, my child has to go to school no matter what. They have to go through the right education. You give them all the support that they need. Go to a good school. Not that public schools are not good, but whichever school it is, get the support that that student needs and let her go. I've seen parents in the village who will go even to the school and request to work in that school so that the pay goes to the school fees. That is the sacrifice I'm talking about. But the problem is where some parents just don't care. they will always be saying, I don't have money, I don't have a job, I can't pay fees. So the kids are always being sent home. And the thing is, now education is expensive. So there is nothing we can compare with the children's education when it comes to affordability. So I believe there are all forms of affordability. Private schools, universities, yes, they may be slightly expensive, but if a parent or people cannot afford the private, we have public schools, we have public technical colleges, we have public universities, and it is about the will. If you have the will to help this young man advance in education, you will go looking for all options and settle on an option which you can afford. So the affordability is relative. Let's get out of it and stop saying that education is very expensive. I can't take my son to university or my daughter to university because it's very expensive. We are denying this girl or woman or young man a big opportunity ahead. So it is about sacrifice. Close all those investments. Take the girl or take the young boy to school. And of course, we have some parents even who are still looking at, let the girl stay, let the boy go, which is very unfortunate. We need to also empower the girl child. The way we are empowering the boy child, we need to empower the girl child. So even the ladies, we all need to go look at what is affordable. And even we have online, trainings now going on. So we have no excuse. Affordability is relative. Less sacrifice, less prioritize.
Okay.
Yes.
So you're saying investment. You should invest in your child.
Yes.
Because I've seen even some people, they buy land and they put up apartments and say, education is so expensive, let me just invest for my child. So you're saying invest in, not for.
Exactly.
Okay.
Let's not invest for the children.
Okay.
Investing for the children means we are buying apartments, we are buying plots, we are building up those,
And they cannot even take care of them because they have no information, they have no knowledge.
They don't have the
They
skills.
have not worked for nothing.
Exactly.
Okay.
And that's why we say at the first place that it's like brains without the beauty we are talking about. You have
beauty
all the,
without brains.
Exactly,
Yes.
beauty without brains.
Yes.
You have the property, you have everything, but do you have the brains to manage it? So that is the same thing.
Okay.
Have the brains first, then you will acquire the property. So help these young people, the women and everybody, first of all, have the brains.
Okay.
So once they have the knowledge, once they have the skills, the attitudes, the abilities, then managing anything else will be very easy.
Okay.
Yes.
So does KCA offer short courses, maybe for a woman she went to high school, she went to primary school, of course, she went to high school, then she got married, childbirth came about and she got so busy, but now she feels it's time for me to go back to school. But she's been caught up by motherhood, by married life, by career, by everything. So do you have short courses, and what would you advise a woman who would love to take up such?
Yes, for women, and that's what I'm passionate about most. The era of saying, yes, my husband is working, my husband has the money, I'll just stay home and take care of the children, it's over.
Yes.
Because things have changed and we also have to change. For me, it is about your priorities again. It is never late. It is, every time is right. And for us at KCA University, we actually have a whole range of courses, right from, the very craft where somebody even didn't clear, maybe he cleared class 8, they did the KCAC, they just have, even if you got an E, we have the neck courses. Exactly. Yes. Yeah, exactly. We have the neck courses. Now they have actually changed. They are calling them CDAC.
Okay.
So the TVET courses. At KCA University, we have now the KCA University Professional and Technical College, which is basically offering that. So it doesn't matter your level of background. So don't sit home and say, me, I failed, I got an E, or you don't sympathize, you don't just pity yourself.
Wallow in self-pity.
Exactly.
Okay.
There are many opportunities out there.
Okay.
So at KCA University, we have quite a range, right from the very low, and actually they provide room for progression. So you start with a very low level artisan, you'll do the craft, you'll do the diploma, you'll move on to degree, masters, and up to PhD. So, and the other thing, because sometimes we are very busy, you are like busy during the day and all that, we have very flexible modes. We even have online classes. So you can register and just opt for the online mode. So you do the classes online, you receive assignments, you do them, you submit, then you only prepare to go and sit the exam, because the exam is
It has to be
on
physical.
campus.
Yeah.
But again, I know we are working on modalities
Okay.
that we can be able to even have exams, done. Because we have students from even Sudan, all over the country.
Okay.
So we have all those modalities. So what I'm telling the women is it is never late. You have opportunities, they are there, exploit them, and also network. Just find out, how are people doing? How are you doing these things? So get the right networks. And that's why we talk about, your networks will determine your net worth. So do you have the right networks? People who can tell you, yes, come and start here, come and do this. And we have even a lot of support. Yesterday I was in church and we were being given an announcement by the MCA that they have courses. They have a sponsorship by USAID. So they're asking for women, ladies who can enroll for those classes, and just up their life. So it is never late. It is you to organize yourself. Never say you don't have time. It is about sacrifice. Okay. So organize your schedules. Courses are there, flexible, and just don't sit, do something. At least add some knowledge on yourself.
Yes.
Online, physical, network, attend the forums, the workshops, and at least acquire some skills.
True.
So that you can also be, presentable even to people. You can also say, yeah, I'm doing this, I've done this, and you gain respect even out of that.
So, Dr. Bunyasi, I know you are so passionate about the girl child and you're so passionate about the woman.
Yes.
And I want you to stay there. I know you have mentioned it in passing, but I want you to emphasize there a little bit on the man being so advanced and the woman just staying back and saying that the man will provide everything. For this, the married people, we are not talking about slave queen and side chicks. We are talking about the married people. So the man is so up there, but the woman is just saying, I'm good, taking care of my husband, taking care of my children. So what's your take on that?
Yeah, thank you, Suzanne. For me, in such a situation, I'll say this woman doesn't love herself. Yeah. I've seen ladies who, of course, even have gone to school. But when they get married, they decide, okay, my husband has said I stay home, I take care of the family, and they stay home. Unfortunately, when things go wrong, not that, of course, we are pessimistic, but when things go wrong, this lady is now left regretting, I wish I knew. And now getting opportunities that she had then is very difficult. So for me, if a family really values, and a family is a husband and a wife, if the husband or the wife, really values one another, then it's about let's empower one another. A husband has a responsibility, and I told you about my story. I've been empowered by my husband. He always kept telling me, go back. You have done with your degree, go back and do something else. You are done with this, go back and do something else. And with time, now you realize he's up there, you are up there, and life becomes a bit easier. You are able even to, look at things differently and all that. But someone who will tell the wife, no, you don't have to do that.
You have to stay at home and take care of the children.
Yeah, I've heard of even
as he's
friends.
Progressing and advancing.
Exactly. I've heard of friends who will be told to stay home and not go do anything at all. But I tell you, they're crying. It's not like, life is so smooth. These men are on them, they are not giving them peace. They cannot get even what they really want. So it is really not advisable. I would not advise any woman to believe that she can just sit at home and the husband will work and bring. You also need to advance. You also need to position yourself.
And you got your own brains.
Exactly. And, in life, we also look at eventualities. God forbid, if something happened to this man.
Even in capacity.
Yes,
being incapacitated.
Exactly.
Yes.
Or just something happens and even he loses a job, which is now very common with the laying off.
In Kenya,
and
the retrenchment.
Yes, what will happen? You will start packing your things to go to the village because it will be difficult. The children have now grown because it's normally easy because a man looks at the wife, they are two alone in the house, food is not a problem, everything he can provide. But wait until children come in. Then they start going to school. Then the man will start being harsh to this lady. You are just sitting here
doing nothing.
You think, exactly, yes. So it is the lady to see ahead because things will not remain the way you are, the two of you. So it is the lady to see ahead and advise the man. And of course, men also, listen to your wives and work together. If you empower a wife and you're also empowered, life is easier.
Okay.
Yes.
So you are not an advocate of stay-at-home moms?
No, I can't. And I don't want women to stay home. What will you be doing at home, honestly? From 8 to,
To 5?
Yes.
In Adera?
Exactly. What will you be doing? Because it is, make a difference in your life. You cannot just be the one staying at home. The children will still be taken care of. But, you'll hear some men saying, no, my wife cannot go to work.
And as you said that everyone was born with a gift.
Yes, why are you killing that innate ability? You have the ability to excel. And I also, maybe this is to the husbands now.
Yes.
Husbands should always believe that the women can really prosper if they also support them and just ignite that potential that they have. And the problem is when some men feel maybe when the woman excels, maybe they feel insecure. What will happen? The wife will not respect me. That should not be the case.
She'll be a high value woman.
Exactly. That should be your
network
joy.
will change.
But that is your joy. As a husband, you have impacted to this lady. And now all the glory is to you because you are the one who has enabled her to grow. So the inferiority doesn't take us anywhere. But the ladies, we have to, just break the ceiling and, be out there to encourage the young ladies out there also who need our encouragement. And not that when we get up there, we look down upon the men. No, we need to work together and just be models so that we can be able to support others who are looking at it like, no, you need to stay at home and all that. So for me, staying in the house, yet you have the potential to make a difference in your life.
And the man is just growing and growing.
No, it is
and you
not
are just
fair.
Even the discussions now change.
It is not fair. A time will come when the husband will tell you, you stay in the kitchen. I'm discussing important matters with
visitors.
Yes. And now your work will be
because you can't contribute nothing.
Exactly.
Woman of elegance, you can't contribute nothing.
What will you contribute?
Nothing.
The topics they're talking about the current issues,
nothing.
The emerging issues. Do you know about
You just know about tomatoes and spices.
Cook in the
and
kitchen,
onions.
Bring the food, and then you'll start feeling bad. But my husband is now even leaving me out when he goes out. Because when you stay in the house, you will never be the same.
He's even embarrassed to introduce you because even you can't put one word.
Exactly.
How are you plus?
Exactly.
You can't put two words
together. That one, no, a big no.
Yes.
A big no.
Okay. Okay. So what's your take on the education system in Kenya?
The education system in Kenya, of course, has been good. We are products of the education system that has been there. Of course, we've been having quite a lot of changes in the system. We had the very former one, the A-level. We came up with the 844. I'm a product of 844. And now we are coming up with the CBC. So the education level, of course, brings out graduates. And at the end of the day, the government, what is trying to look at is, what graduate do we look at? So that's why they have been, they keep changing the syllabus. Yeah, they keep changing the curriculum just to make sure that the persons we are bringing out are going to make a difference. And like now with the CBC, which now has taken off in the primary schools and now in technical colleges. And now even at the university now we are preparing because we are receiving now these students who are CBC as we are not used to the CBC. So for me, it is a good system that is coming up because the old ones have also been good. But now the focus is more on skills, on competence.
Talent.
Yes, competence based.
Okay.
So the more we produce people who are competence based, who are skills, hands-on, I think that is going to make a big difference. They will not finish and start again asking for jobs. We are telling them by the time you finish, you have a job. And that's why we have even what they are calling the dual system, where students are in class and they're also in industry. So as they're in class, they're also learning what is happening in the industry. So by the time they finish, they are already a full product. Not that you are in class doing what you don't know even whether it is needed there or not. So when you finish, one, chances of being absorbed are better. And two, chances of starting your own thing is also high. So yes, the new education system, of course, we need to support it. The government has to seriously support it because I think we have some schools and especially some public schools where facilities is still an issue, teachers is still an issue. But once we get things right, I believe it is a system that is going to produce, competent people, graduates, who can make a difference in this economy.
Okay.
Yes.
So before a degree was enough, and now when it comes to the corporate world?
I can tell you now, almost everybody, in fact, a degree is now nothing. everybody is MBA. And if you want to know this, just put up an advert for some job where you are looking for people with masters or even PhD. You'll be shocked. Thousands of CVs will land and you wonder, where are these people coming from? So again, I would really advise, if you can go for the very high end, because...
And that is the PhD.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because once you are down here, how many people are there? So many.
So many.
Come to the masters, now so many. Now PhD, by the way, we have quite so many. So even we have quite a number of PhDs who are looking for jobs. They don't have a job. Yeah, they will come for part-time classes, even at KCA, in many universities.
PhD
because they don't have jobs. Yes, very many.
PhD.
Very many.
So if these are PhD, what about the diploma?
That is now the thing. So what I can advise, don't just finish your diploma and then you are crying, oh, there are no jobs. It's because there are so many people. So for you to be able to make an edge, to be strategic, so that you position yourself, advance, advance, advance. Don't just stop at that master's. Don't just stop at that diploma. Don't just stop at that certificate. Keep advancing, because the higher you go, of course, you'll have fewer people. But the lower you are, the masses, that's where the masses are. So for me, the spirit is keep going, yeah, just like the eagle, yeah. When we have issues, the small birds will be flying down there, they will have problems. But with it will fly up, because up there, it will smoothly fly up. So we have to just emulate the eagle style. Okay. Fly high above the clouds.
Fly high above.
Where we don't have the bumps and exactly the ducks and everything.
Yeah,
fly high.
Fly as high as you can.
Exactly. And if you fly as high as possible, definitely opportunities will be there.
Okay.
You will always get opportunities.
Okay.
It may not be today, but in a short while opportunities will be there. Okay. But when you're down there, it will take longer.
Education never rots.
Never.
Ever.
Have the papers. I know somebody who cleared some degree some times back. He stayed for quite some time without a job. And so people are like, now this one. Finally, he got a job. And quite a number. They will stay for quite some time, but when opportunity comes, you have the papers. That's why I talked about success comes when opportunities meet with preparedness.
Okay.
So you prepare yourself, stay with the papers, stay up there, and when opportunities come, they'll come in a big bang. Okay. And of course, you'll be able to utilize them.
And of course, it's better to have the papers and wait for the job.
Exactly.
Than not have and just complain.
Exactly.
Okay.
Like those who don't have and are busy saying, hata siezi soma, I can't go to school because there are no jobs. Even if a job came.
And they say, let me try business.
That is
But even this business needs information, it needs knowledge.
Actually, even most young people, and this goes to them, most young people in universities, in colleges, now they are like, they go to the university and they are really disturbing their parents because they feel sitting in class after school, they are not going to get a job. So some of them are not even studying. They just want to stay and do their, online TikTok businesses. They want to start there. But we keep asking them, for you to start a business, you need money. Do you have the capital? They don't have. So what are you telling your parents? That you don't want to go to school? You want to start a business. With which money? So first things first. First of all, get that paper. Get that degree, that diploma, that master's. Then now you can advance and do your business. But without any paper, you want to do business, which business will you do? Every business needs skills. If you want to be a hair and beauty, you need the skills. If you want to be an engineer, you need the skills. If you want to be any, profession, you will need, even a businessman, you need entrepreneurial skills. Where will you acquire them? You can only acquire them in school. Like at our university, KCA University, entrepreneurship is now mandatory. Anybody coming to the university, you have to go through an entrepreneurship unit. And I teach it, and I keep telling students, we are not teaching you to make you get jobs. But when you finish, make sure even when we finish this entrepreneurship class, you have an idea. You come up with something and start doing before you get a job. You're already doing something. So you need those skills. You cannot acquire them in the streets or selling, whatever you want to go and sell. It can only be acquired in class. So let's give education a priority.
Okay.
Other things will follow.
Okay.
Yes.
So Dr. Bunyasi, you are doing very well in motherhood. I've met your children and they are so learned. So what's your take on parents forcing their children, like we have to have a doctor in our family? We have to have a lawyer.
Yes.
Then the child goes to school, to the university, and brings the degree home. Have you ever seen such cases? Because
Yeah,
me,
I've
I have
many.
seen. Brings and says, Dad, you wanted me to be a doctor. Here it is. Now I'm going back to school to do marketing because that is where my passion is. And you are left with the papers. What's your take on the career choice? And
yes, actually, I've had so many cases of my friends' children, doing the same. And for me, on career, it falls back on the guidance that you give your children. Right from the time the children join high school, as a parent, you need to work with that kid, whether a boy or a girl. And as you work with them, you are identifying their strengths and their weaknesses. So that as they grow up, you keep talking with them. I think with your performance, you can be able to do this. With your performance, you can be able to do this. And the performance is what is guiding. The performance is what is guiding. So by the time this boy or girl reaches Form 4, at least you've had that walk. And you have also put something in his mind. And it's not a forced thing, but it's a discussion telling them, yes, this course can be good for you because you are good in maths, you are good in physics, you are good in this. And if you pursue it, it will make a difference in your life. So it will have been a win-win.
Okay.
You are walking this path.
Like for me, I was very good in languages and maths, as I have told you, and physics and chemistry. It was very hard for
and
me.
your parents must have noticed that from the first time.
Yes.
So by the time you are finishing, there is no way they are going to tell you, go and do, those courses which you are not really
go and be an architect.
doing. Exactly. Yeah. So like what has worked for us, okay, my firstborn is a doctor. And he started right again from, primary. He was a bright boy and he liked reading. He liked just, going for it. Even in primary, he was always number one. Up to class 8, he was the best in that school. So when he joined the high school, at school, he was like, he wants to be a doctor.
And you're telling us it's not about the genes? Now I'm starting to believe like it's genetic, like it runs in the family, like doctor, like your son is a doctor and you're a doctor.
Yes, and so he was in for it. Of course, there was a lot of support from us as parents. Like I remember my husband could even wake up in the morning, study with them before they go to school. So there was also that commitment just to give them that push. So when he went to high school again, he exemplarily, started well, topping, and, just moving on. He was a captain. He was actually at Surrey Boys, and he became a captain. He was just committed and dedicated, and so he excelled. And for him, the dream was medicine. So at least we didn't even struggle much, but we knew he can make it because he liked reading, he liked discipline, and he could just go for it. The second one was... he's the engineer. He graduated actually. So for him, he was a maths, physics person. But while in high school, he really liked computer. In fact, we bought him a very expensive computer just in high school there, because he could do this science congress, this contest that they do in national schools, and he went up to nationals, computer. So for him, by the time he was finishing, he was like he wanted computer. But again, when we looked at his performance, the physics, the maths, he was doing well. So we are like, oh, computer is good, but you can use your computer in engineering. How do you see that? So again, it was, a buy-in. And because we looked at the ability and what he loved most. And for him, he was like, yes, I can do it. And he did it so well. He likes it so much and he's doing it very well. So when it comes to career, let's not also tell our children to do what we thought we would have done and we didn't do, so we want our children to do. It is a walk. Walk with them, get to know their passion, and explain to them why doing some course will be much better than maybe doing another. But it has to be a long walk. Don't just wait for the results to come out and then you are like, okay, this is your grade, go and do this course. It may not work. So start working with them from Form 1. The moment they join, let them start, direct them. There is a way you can influence. It is not bad to really tell your child to do a course will be better for him. Because sometimes we have seen students go to do courses, which again they finish, and it takes quite a long time for them even to maybe secure a job or to start something. So we need to guide them.
And they feel frustrated along the way.
Exactly. We need to guide them. So in the event of now these children who are doing, or students who are doing a course from the university, and then they come and tell their mom, this is it. It means even at the point of joining, there was that, push and pull. But I believe by the time my son or daughter is going to the university, we have already agreed. At least there is that walk we have walked. So I'm telling him, this is the best thing about it. Yeah, let's talk about it. So, it's a win-win. But just pushing them, okay, this is the course that has come, you have to do it. Sometimes it doesn't help. So understand your child, the capabilities, and work with them in advising on career. If you can't, invite people. I've had so many people who have come to my house just
and that is
for
what
me to
I wanted
advise
to
them.
ask you. I wanted to ask you.
Yes.
And I know that you are a very busy person.
Yes.
But do you do mentorship?
I do a lot. I do a lot.
Career guidance.
Exactly. I do a lot.
And there are some students who feel stuck along the way.
Yes.
Like I've interacted with a few young people and they're telling me that I am feeling so stuck. They need to defer, they need to stop the discouragement.
It has happened to many. I know even of a friend's daughter who actually was doing engineering up to 4th year. But because they had quite a number of, supplementaries carried forward, the student could not move any further. And she just said, I'm done. So she had to quit. So you look at it and you ask, now the story, how it started. There was, of course, an element of the father saying, no, you have to do this course.
You have to be an engineer.
Yes, you have to be an
People
engineer.
Have to respect me that my daughter is an engineer.
Yes, that is the problem. You can't just force and say you have to do. It has to be a walk.
Yes.
Let the child also own it. Because at the end of the day, he's the one going to do that course. So there has to be that buying in. So I talk to them. Tell them why it is important for them to do that course, how it is going to help them better than maybe the other course they are thinking, or maybe the other course will even be a supplementary to this. So they take it positively. But what you are saying is very true. Some have gotten stuck along the way, especially these high-flying courses, the medicine, the engineering, the very tough ones, the agricultural, those deep sciences, the STEM. Some students have got stuck there. So by the time now they're withdrawing, it is too late. You have spent a lot of money. They have spent a lot of time. Now they have to come and start a new thing
What
altogether.
is STEM?
Oh, STEM is science, technology, engineering, and maths related courses.
I can never be found
The
there.
sciences.
I can never be found there.
Actually, now they are calling it STEAM. They have added A after E. Yeah, they are now agriculture. Agriculture is also part of it. So we are talking about the science, technology, agriculture, engineering, and mathematics.
Okay.
So those courses, definitely the background must have been there. You cannot just get in because they are the real, maths and those biology, those physics. So you must have had a good foundation.
Okay.
So if it is not there, then the child will go struggling. And now that even we have the parallel programs where you can pay for them and they can go and do, you can pay for them, yes, but do they have the capacity, the ability? So as parents, we also have to consider all those. Otherwise, we make our children frustrated. That's why some of them will even revert to drinking and, just doing the drugs because
And now that
they
you
just
have
can't make
mentioned
it.
drinking, and I can never let you go without you addressing the discipline in schools because it's
Yes.
just crazy.
Yes.
It is crazy. And you have been a dean of students for so long. How have you dealt with the discipline in universities? And you'll also touch on that thing. I can never mention it because I really hate it. Yeah.
Yes. So in school, actually now we can see a lot of problems in high schools, drug abuse. We see on videos every time when students are opening. I don't know, some have tied the bangies
And clocks.
and all over. It is a big menace. It's a big menace in high schools, in universities. How did we deal with it, especially at the university? At KCA University 1, we are a drug-free zone. So right from the gate, we have a big banner.
Signpost.
KCA University is a
It's
drug-free
drug-free.
zone.
So you can't smoke, you can't drink.
Can't smoke when in KCA, neither can you do drugs when in KCA. Any form of drugs.
No wine, no alcohol.
You can't. Like yesterday, Friday, we were having the Mr. and Miss KCA, the beauty pageant. And students could be screened right from the gate. Of course, we may not avoid those who come in already intoxicated, yeah. But of course, if you are behaving in a manner that is not, good, you will be stopped at the gate. So at the gate, we have even that screening point, yeah, where you put in your luggages like at the airport, and it will be screened. Any liquids or whatever is not right, you will be removed. So it calls for a strict university and with policies and with rules to govern these young people. There are some things you should just not tolerate, like issues of drinking while on campus, smoking while, those ones just don't tolerate.
And the dressing code.
Dressing code issues,
The
you just have to address.
clothes, long.
Yes. You just have to address, because we are teaching elegance even to them. When you finish your course, you are going to get a job. Who will hire you if you're not elegant, if you're not looking well, dressed? So we do all that. And of course, we have the Dean of Students office, which now again supports that. We have a whole department, career office, which now advises them. How do you present yourself when you're going for a job? You cannot come in skimpy, trousers and all
Booty
that.
shorts.
Exactly. And think of getting a job. So we have a whole department which just works on that. And they keep holding forums. Yeah, they call us, we talk to them. We have external people coming to talk to them. So we can only do, of course, what we can do.
Do you have like a specific mode of dressing?
Yes, we have a dress code. And again...
Like, do you allow earrings for guys? Dreadlocks?
Yes.
Because now we are dealing with Gen Z. We are in trouble.
Yeah, it's really a big challenge.
It's
a big challenge.
Yes.
At one point, we had a very strict dress code because the courses we were offering, again, were purely accounting, technology,
and
business, education.
Ties and suits.
Exactly. But now we introduced education.
Okay.
And not education, the mass media, journalism, those people who act and everything.
Mass
and
communication.
Somehow it now became, because it's like for them to act, even the way they dress, the way they, present themselves, it's a bit different. So again, now in that case, of course, now we had to, loosen up some. Like now, some, of course, will have the dread code. Yes, yeah. Some will have the dreadlocks, but now it is part of their attire for acting. Some of them will have, so somehow, of course, it had to be adjusted, but there is that continuous now talking to them.
And of course, there is the bare minimum.
Exactly, there is the bare minimum.
Okay.
You can't go beyond this.
Yes.
So discipline is a big issue, but again, the forums, I always imagine and believe that give people knowledge. Whether they use it or they don't use it, it will be up to them. So we have forums, even talking to them about drugs, the effects of drug abuse, the drinking, LGBTQ. We have all those forums for them. So at their level, and for us at the university, we're even having those who are married, the old people. It's not just the young people. So the best we can do is to give them knowledge, and they choose. But that engagement has to be ongoing. And in the process, quite a number change. And they feel, wow, I was doing this, and so I should stop. So, yeah, but rules, code of conduct has to be very clear for the university students.
Why should someone choose KCA over the other university?
Yes. Good question.
Okay.
Yeah, KCA University, we are actually a premier university. We pride ourselves in technology and business, being the only university actually, I think in the region or in the world, owned by a professional body. We are owned by ISPAC. ISPAC is the Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Kenya. They are the ones who started the college. We started as Kenya College of Accountancy. Then along the way, we have grown now to be KCA University. And at KCA University, the values, we impart in people. We believe in what I said first. Everybody has the potential. And when we, support them, then they are going to be great people. 2, we believe that everybody who comes from KCA University should not be in the streets looking for jobs. So that's why I told you entrepreneurship is a mandatory course. So every student has to go through entrepreneurship, and we teach them. By the time they finish, we have forums. They engage in this month, actually, we have an innovations week. So students come up with innovations, come up with ideas, just to showcase their talents, and with that, we even support them to link them up to the industry, and they can be able to grow their ideas. So KCA University embraces diversity. We don't look at, like which region or who. So we support everyone who comes to the university, and we believe in empowering everyone who comes through the university and making them, a better person than any other person. So it is the place to be.
Wow.
And one another thing, KCA University having been started by the Institute of Certified Public Accountants, it's like we have a one-stop shop. You want whichever course you'll find. You want to do your professional courses, we have them. You want to do academic courses, we have them. So you'll find students doing professional in the day, academic in the evening. And now we have again all courses. We have NEC, we have Cultivate Institute in the university, we have the academic, all the way to the PhD. So you come there, you can be sure by the time you exit, you are fully packaged. And we continuously talk to our graduates, our students, how to position themselves, how to package themselves. So by the time they leave, we were rated actually at one time to be the best in employability by British Council. Yes. By British Council. So our graduates are hot.
That's a big deal.
Yes, our graduates are hot. So when
they
you
run
finish,
off the shelves.
Exactly. The shelf life is, the turnover is high. They graduate, they get jobs. When they go for internship, they go and go. So yeah, that's why KCA is the best place to be.
Wow. Thank you so much. And I'm sure people are asking where they can find you. But we'll be putting your number in the comment section if you don't mind, for mentorship and for guidance. What is your parting shot matters education?
My parting shot is education is the only equalizer. I look at myself and I'm like, without education, I don't know where I would have been. Because of education, I've been able to, travel across the country, the world, I mean, just because of, the education that I acquired, the professional qualification. I sit on a global forum for ACCA. I'm an advisory member of the Kenya ACCA. And I sit on several boards in this country. I'm a board member of PC Kinyanjui Technical College. And I have, quite a lot of community engagements supporting people, courtesy of having gone to school. So what I can tell the listeners or those who will be reading and watching this is education, education. It is the key. I know when we were young, we used to be told education is the key to success.
True.
And true, it is the key. So in whichever profession you are in, always think of how do you advance. Don't just stick to where you are. Advance. Even those who are in industry, they are doing the hair and beauty, they are doing the fashion and design, and you don't have any certificate. Now it is possible through NITA, and even at KCA we are exploring that.
What is NITA?
Can get, that is the National Industrial Training.
Okay.
Yeah, so authority. So you can be able to go to an institution and you get certification. Because, somebody has been doing the tailoring for the last many years, hair for the last many years, the plumbing, people just do it, they have all the skills. So you can be given the certification and then you can now even start tendering, you register your company and you're in business. So that is education. So have papers, don't just sit and, we want women who are elegant in beauty and also in brain. So education is the only.
Wow. Viewers, yes. I know that you have learned a lot. There can never be elegance without brains. Yes. Because have you ever seen such a beautiful woman, but the moment she opens her mouth to speak, all the beauty is gone. Just because she doesn't have education, she doesn't have knowledge, she doesn't have information. So education, as we have been told by our very best Dr. Bunyasi, is that it is the equalizer. Yes. It doesn't matter where you are coming from. It doesn't matter tribe, anything. Nothing matters. When it comes to education, it makes everyone equal. And so today, I hope that you have been helped and you can take up short courses, you can go back to school, you can advance in your education, and it is never too late. This is the best time for you to just up your game, to level up when it comes to your education. And today, my guest and I have been dressed by Zemaya Collections. The shoes has been done by Emirates Shoes Collection, and the background decor has been done by S&D Interiors and Exteriors. Make sure you check them up in their pages. And until next time, it is bye for now.